How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over cybersecurity 101, how to protect yourself online. This is something that I personally see becoming more and more prevalent today. I know people coming up to me saying, hey, I've been hacked, or they know people that have been hacked, and it can be very detrimental. So today I thought I'd make a video on the basic steps on how to protect yourself online. And this is nothing that requires you to be super tech savvy. This is stuff that very basic that everyone should be practicing. So once you're hacked, it's too late. I know people here that this friend of a friend, she came to me saying that she lost 10,000 worth in crypto. She actually was a victim of a phishing attack. And these attacks are very elaborate. These hackers, they don't play games, right? So they take their time and they know what they're doing when it comes to hacking. So they may use social engineering tactics, and if you fall for these things, you will become victim. And also someone that lives actually in my neighborhood was victim to a whole network attack. Her whole network was compromised. That means all of her IoT devices, including her alarm, thermostat, TV, and the shark vacuum thing, right? All of that was compromised because her entire network was compromised. So here's a stat. There's a hacker attack every 39 seconds. And if that doesn't alarm you, then you need to wake up. So let's dive into the things you could be doing to protect yourself. So first things first, home network security. You want to make sure your network is secure. How do you do that? You need to change the default username and password that your internet router comes with. So if you have AT&T, for example, it may say ATT78YX11, right? You need to change that. You need to go online, change the user account, the username, and change the password to something strong. This is because all of these default settings are all open to the public. Your router, anyone can Google what router it is and find the password for it and compromise your network like that. Number two, you want to set up a guest network for your family and friends. So when they come over, you go ahead and give them the guest network internet to use. And finally, put the router in the center of your home. Not only is this going to help with your reception throughout the house, but it's also going to prevent street crawlers from going close to or driving around the neighborhood, seeing what internets come up, seeing what routers come up, and then trying to break in like that. So it prevents the radius from breaching outside of your household. Moving on, you want to put your IoT devices on the guest network. Now, this isn't something that's guaranteed to protect you from Internet of Things device like attacks, but it's definitely going to add another layer. So you don't want to be trusting these random smart devices that you're buying from Amazon and putting them onto your main network, right? You don't know who created them. You don't know what their what the device is actually collecting, and a lot of these things may come from China, stuff like that, and you don't want to put them on your main net. On top of that, hackers can easily penetrate these IoT devices, so they can hack into IoT devices relatively easy and gain control of them. So take them off your main network and throw them on the guest. And like I said previously, put your family and friends on the guest network. Moving on, you want to turn on your firewall. You want to make sure that all your computers have the firewall turned on. I know sometimes the computer may or may not come with it already installed and turned on. Make sure you turn them on. Open all the ports you need open that you'll be using, and close the unused ports and the ports you do not use, right? This is going to minimize the attack surface. Encrypt all your files and backups. So you want to make sure this is cybersecurity 101 practice, right? You want to make it harder for the hackers to continue an attack. And if all your files are encrypted, it's adding that layer of security, right? For example, on the Mac, it's called FireVault. Make sure you turn that on. That's going to go ahead and encrypt all your data that's on your computer. And if you're doing backups to back up your data on a external hard drive and stuff like that, make sure those backups are encrypted as well. use anti-malware software. So this isn't like the greatest thing in the world, but it is just safe practice, once again, that everyone ultimately should be doing. Everyone should have some sort of an anti-malware software. Example of these are McAfee, Clean My Mac, and Norton. They offer a wide range of utilities you can use to protect yourself, protect your computer, and make sure you're flushing out unwanted files and malware that may be on your computer. This is probably one of the most important key things in this presentation is you want to be using a password manager. I can't stress that enough. You need to be using strong passwords and different passwords per account so you can protect yourself, right? So if, let's say, your email is hacked and you have the same password for your email as your bank account, then your bank account is good as gone as well. So you want to make sure you change these passwords, make sure they're strong, they're hard to crack. Therefore, giving the hackers a hard time, and you're not low-hanging fruit when it comes to being a vulnerable victim. Examples are LastPass, KeepPass, and 1Password. These are all fantastic password managers to manage your account. Bonus, if you use a password manager, try to get them off the cloud. Try to make them into a local network. Therefore, people can hack a server, let's say LastPass's server, to see your stuff. You want to bring it locally. You want to get that onto a local network. Okay, so use separate emails. This is another really, really important one. I call it FPM, so finance, personal, miscellaneous. Divvy up your email accounts. You have an email account for all your financial stuff, right? So your bank accounts, your stuff like that. More important stuff, right? Tier 1. Moving on, personal stuff will be your social media accounts, lifestyle stuff, newsletters, right? That'll be tier 2, right? So you want to have a separate account for that. Finally, your burner account, which is your miscellaneous account. Random stuff that you give away. Let's say Banana Republic is asking you for 15% off. Give us your email. Just give them that email, an email you don't care about that you don't really use. This is probably the most important thing on here, if not the most beneficial, right? And this is a 2FA on all accounts. So two-factor authentication is something that everyone should be using. Like I have here, multi-factor authentication and encryption are the biggest obstacles for hackers. That means that 2FA and multi-factor authentication is currently the number one stopper for continuing for hackers to continue their attack, right? Once they're met with that 2FA, it's basically impossible for them to now continue the hack because you have the other factor of authentication. So make sure you're using 2FA on all accounts. Cannot stress that enough. So online privacy is just good hygiene, right? We work out, we eat well. Well, online privacy is one of these things that we should be practicing as well. So stop using Google Chrome because Google Chrome actually monitors everything you do, super not private. So go ahead and start using Firefox, right? Super underrated, like I have here. I love Firefox. It comes with so many things. They offer so many services. I mean, Firefox is just super awesome. On top of that, on the web browser, you can add extensions like DuckDuckGo, HTTPS only, Privacy Badger. These are extensions that are going to, once again, help protect your anonymity online. And once again, good hygiene, and recommend you start caring about your online privacy. Probably the most common ways to protect yourself that people may be familiar with is virtual private networks, a VPN. So these shell your internet traffic when connecting to servers. You have to use these on free networks, right? So if you go to Starbucks, your college, the library, right? These are all free networks. We don't know what's going on within that network. It may not be secure. So a VPN is going to protect you from a lot of these things. You can use it at home, but I highly recommend using it on free networks. I mean, you almost have to use it on free networks, especially when you're doing work and stuff like that. And on top of that, this also helps you stay anonymous online. like the previous slide said. So this is one of those things that's going to protect your anonymity as well. Okay, so bonus. This is something I just started doing as well. And it's to set up a standard user apart from the admin. So if all else fails, this is the final level of defense, right? So if your computer's compromised and you're using a standard account, well, you're in some luck because that standard account, doesn't have all the privileges the admin account would. So if you buy a computer, you start using the computer on the admin account like everyone usually does, that means you have all the control to your computer. So likewise, a hacker will gain full access to your computer as well. This is why setting up a standard user is going to protect you from that. It may be a little bit tedious, but I recommend it. Go ahead and have the admin account set up to edit all the computer settings that you want when you want to. And then for business and casual daily use, go ahead and set up that standard user account for work, sending emails, and basic web surfing. So yeah, it's definitely a good layer to have when it comes to protecting yourself. And here's a little statistic I have. 32% of black hat hackers, which are malicious hackers, admit privileged accounts are the number one way to hack systems, right? So that means that it is definitely, admin accounts are definitely a vulnerability when it comes to your online, your computer security. So you want to consider using that standard account. So in conclusion, I hope that those are I don't know, 10 to 12 maybe tips, super basic, that everyone should be implementing today in the digital world we have today. I also do consultation. I consult. I can help you set these things up if you would like. Go ahead and feel free to reach out to me. We can get it going. Make sure you're safe online. And here's a little stat. I have cybersecurity is more profitable than the global illegal drug trade. So I believe, I think the stat is for the drug trade, it's about 400 billion, and cybercrime actually trumps that with a whopping $600 billion worth of assets, basically. So, I mean, that's a pretty substantial amount, something to consider when using a computer like we do every day, right? So that's it for today. I hope you gained some value out of this video. I highly recommend using these practices in everyday use. Share this with your friends and family, and get everyone browsing the internet and using computers safely. All right, take care, guys.